Good afternoon, everyone present here. A very warm welcome. In our today's webinar, Stroke Awareness is the First Step from Disability, jointly arranged by scientific community and movement expert. Okay, so before moving forward, I would call my friend and founder of scientific community, Dhairya Rajguru, to give a little glimpse of scientific community. Dhairya, please.
Thank you so much, Bindusha, for giving me the mic for introducing the scientific community on today's occasion of this webinar. So I will not take much time of the participants and even of the speakers. So I'll just give a short introduction about the scientific community. So scientific community was actually started in April 2020, and the main motto to start was the scientific communication and the education gap that is prevailing right now today in the education system of the students and the collegians which is there. So we connect the people from interdisciplinary units like physics, chemistry, maths, physiotherapy, mbbs, let it be dental or biology or any field correlating with the life science under the cohort of science. That is what we actually consider over here. So if you can easily go and visit our website, that is www.scientific-community.in. The website would be soon put up in the chat box. You can go visit the website and you can even join our WhatsApp group. So the community is on WhatsApp and we have approximately around 2000 people who are joined, and they every day discuss certain things. They share lots and lots of informations that are going on right now in the field of science, let it be on coronavirus or any other thing that is being done in the alliance with the India and French or India or US or anything, any news that is encircling the science and STEM. So you can join our WhatsApp group. You can even find that link in our website only. You can just go and visit join us. Over there you will easily find join us page and you can join our community easily. Also, we have many features like PhD connections. Over there we provide various openings for the students who are actually seeking PhD and after PhD the postdoctoral fellowship. So we even have that, and we even have a website which serves actually as a publication house for opinionated articles, scientific review articles. We even accept rejected review articles, rejected research articles that we publish on our website. So you can even visit that section. That is our e-magazine section. You can visit our blog section. If you write any article, you can send it and we can publish it on our website. You will even get your authorships, and it's completely free of cost. We publish everything for free of cost. There is no processing fee and also no reviewing fee. We even have our team which is who reviews your articles first, and then so your articles are welcome. Also, we have a category of science art where you can publish, showcase your art skills which are related to science. And if you are doing scientific arts, then you can even send those to us. We are even trying to get IPR on it, right? So we are trying on it right now. So you can send us your science art. We can publish it on our website, and we were even trying for the copyright things for your art. So I think you can talk to us regarding that. And also, obviously, if you are interested in science memes and also other things, so you can easily reach out. Anything encircling science and STEM for science communication, we are obviously there. So till now we have successfully completed more than 9 events, and we have huge participations, around 500 to 600 registrations per webinar. So I think this webinar also would easily go on a good success ratio today, as we have good number of participants, more than 300 today. So I think all the participants would surely enjoy. And lastly, I would like to thank Movement Expert and also Dr. Bhavin Patel for today's enlightening today's talk. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Dhairya. I'm sure a lot of people joined with us here would be encouraged to join our community after this. Okay, so we also have Krishna Patel from Movement Expert. Okay, so Krishna, can you please share with us a little about Movement Expert?
Hello, Bhavin sir, and
Yeah.
thank you, Vindasha. Hello, one and all present here. Firstly, I
Yeah.
hope you all are well and safe and healthy in this pandemic around. Sir, he is a faculty at my very own college, and he has been always there by the side of the students, and especially his expertise for the practical concepts help us to grab the knowledge quickly. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your precious time from your busy schedule. So let me brief up to you out to you what
Okay.
is movement expert. So movement expert welcomes people who are seeking for a deeper understanding for the biological aspect, physical therapy, and medical profession. This platform is made for the purpose to enhance learning by joining the theories with the experiences and the thoughts with the actions. And for the effective learning, I have started with the radiological interpretations and the case discussions, webinars, and so forth. So in such things, the all the people can bridge without hesitation and can get be updated. So we are connected through the WhatsApp groups. The Instagram has movementexpert.physio and through the Discord group. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Krishna. Okay, so now coming back to our today's agenda on the eve of World Stroke Day, that is to create an oral awareness regarding stroke. So, stroke is a very common medical emergency encountered by more than 1 million Indians every year. It is a cerebrovascular disease damaging brain due to interrupted blood supply to the brain. So, as we have heard now and then, prevention is better than cure, and awareness is the first step away from disability. So, helping our purpose today, we have with us Dr. Bhavin Patel. Okay, so he has his master's in physiotherapy neuro and is also an assistant professor in KM Patel Institute of Physiotherapy, Karamsad. He has been part of various lectures and talks in workshops splinting techniques organized by AIOTA Gujarat. He is always a very enthusiastic and supportive for the students' welfare. So thanks a lot, sir, on behalf of both scientific community and movement expert to be the part of today's webinar and delivering this talk. So I would ask sir to take over the mic and begin our today's webinar. Please, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Movement Expert and Scientific Committee, to providing me this platform to enlighten my knowledge. Just a minute, I share my PPT. Okay. Today, today is a World Stroke Day. We observe World Stroke Day. Okay. Initially, actually, stroke is not an common word for before 10 years. Normally, people said that heart attack is very common. They person from die from heart attack. So many people die from heart attack, but nobody recognized that stroke is the second condition where people died after heart problem. And nowadays, since before 10 years, in 2010, the stroke ratio is very less. Out of 20 to 30 people, only 1% of can affect from the stroke. But after 10 years, nowadays to 2020, within before in people of 4%, 1% is affect from stroke. So you are sitting with playing 4 people, dinner with 4 people, okay, chatting with 4 people, and within that 4%, 1% can affect the stroke. That the how prevalence is increased within 10 years, and it increased day by day till 2030. 50% of population of India can affect from stroke. So stroke is the second leading cause of the death in South Asian population from world. It is fifth leading condition in universal world, but it is highly drastically increased in South Asian population. That's why it is second leading in worldwidely in South Asian population. Okay. Today I am covering the introduction of stroke, definition, risk factor, type, classification, and treatment. Treatment part I demonstrate all the practical management basic skill which you can day by day use easily. with any other equipments. Home-based management I can teach you today. Okay. So introduction of the stroke is the second leading cause of death in world, with one person dying every 3 to 4 minutes. India accounts for more than 4 to 5th of all strokes. The stroke incident rate is much higher than in other developing countries, which approximately 1.8 billion Indian out of population, 1.2 billion suffering from stroke every year. If secular trends continue, it is estimated that there will be a 23 million first ever stroke and 7 to 8 million stroke death in 2030. Now, definition of stroke. Stroke is a brain attack. A stroke is defined as the clinical syndrome of rapid onset of cerebral deficit lasting more than 24 hours or leading to death with no apparent cause other than a vascular one. Anywhere in the body, heart is circulating the blood from central to periphery. So any fatty changes occur in the vascular supply. That fatty changes create the developing the plaque, and plaque is circulating through the vessels. And where the vessels are narrow, that plaque is stopped, and that way the blood supply is not passed further more. So what happened? The plaque is obstructing the blood, and at that area maybe blast is occur and the vascular damage, or maybe minor changes occur in the brain. Okay, that is basic common concept of stroke. A stroke is a rapid loss of brain function due to the disturbance in blood supply to the brain. A stroke is happen when blood flow to a part of the brain stop, and is sometimes called a brain attack. Here I explain that same thing, that vascular supply, blood clot obstruct the vessels, and blood supply is not passing through the brain, and the blast is occur, and the stroke is happen. Now, main thing, how to know individual common people that person is suffering from stroke or person is suffering from any paralysis. It is most easy way to find out, recognize that person, any person is suffering from stroke. Be fast. Okay, be fast. B is for balance. Okay, balance, whenever the any person balance is affected. Okay, second is E. E means blurring of vision. Okay, F. Okay, fast. Be fast. Any functional face asymmetry. Any functional one side face asymmetry, not both the side. One side face asymmetry. A means inability to move his arm from any one side. S means speech, slurring of speech. So be fast. So whenever the any person is affected, you can ask him to lift his arm. He is not unable to lift his arm. Patient, ask him to speak something. Tell him to say his name or anything relevant to his work. So he is not able to speak. His speech is slurring. He is not able to comprehend. Okay, and any one side drooling of saliva is there, mouth deviation is there. Okay, then the main problem is stroke is happen. So immediately what you have to do, just call 911 emergency for them to preventing from stroke, because time duration is a main concern for preventing stroke. Okay, if time is lost, brain is lost. Time 4.5 hours is a crucial time for stroke patient. So always remember, whenever you notice that this person is occurring from stroke, immediately next step is call 911 or immediately taken that fellow to nearby hospital where the stroke treatment is available, because there are some type of stroke that I will explain you later. In that, within that window period is important for their management purpose, and we can get recovery easily from that stroke. That's why time is main important part in stroke. So time lost means brain lost, because as each minute passes 1.9 million neuron dies, 14 billion synapses are lost, and 10 km of myelinated fibers are destroyed. That much damage occur in brain in a minute. So you think आप लोग जितना भी डिले करोगे उतना ब्रेन डैमेज ज़्यादा होगा. That's why early identification and treatment of stroke can prevent long-term disability and morbidity. Whenever you notice the patient is suffering from stroke, so never give any aspiration. અમુક લોકો આપણે ત્યાં કેવું હોય છે કે પેશન્ટને આવે છે તો પેશન્ટે બીપીની દવા નથી લીધી તો અમને ફટાફટ બીપીની દવા આપી દો, એવું લોકો કરે છે. બટ નેવર ડુ ધીસ, because BP medicines, it increase the blood circulation and it will damage more to the brain. So never give any aspiration to patient whenever patient affected from stroke. Second thing, never give any sip of water because their muscles are weak. So what happen, they drink water, that time maybe water is not going to stomach and goes into the lungs, so aspiration is happen. So prevent from aspiration. No, not given any water, food, anything to that patient. First directly go to the hospital and admit that immediately as much as fast as you can. Okay. Risk factor for the stroke. Non-modifiable main is age. Male are more affected than female. Race, ratio, heredity, and previous stroke history. And modifiable factors are stroke as for sugar and smoking habit, tension and hypertension, R means rheumatic heart disease, O means oral contraceptive pills who the more frequently taken, K for kidney disease and high cholesterol, and E for excessive use of alcohol and lack of exercise. Now classification of stroke. Stroke are mainly two classification, ischemic classification and hemorrhagic classification. In ischemic, mainly two types, thrombotic and embolic. And hemorrhagic, it is intracerebral hemorrhage and subarachnoid hemorrhage. Most commonly affected is patient is affected from the ischemic stroke. Okay. Now third is TIA, mini stroke or warning stroke. American Heart Association and American Stroke Association Council proposed the following definition in 2009: a transient episode of neurological dysfunction of bifocal brain. They serve as a warning sign for future stroke and indicate that there is a partially blocked artery or clot source in the heart. TIA may not cause neurological damage but is strongly associated with risk for subsequent stroke within next 3 months. Stroke occurring in half the patient within first 2 days. For that, ABCD2 score is valid for TIA purpose. ABCD में A is for age more than 60, B for blood pressure more than 140 by 100 mmHg, C for clinical features like unilateral weakness, speech impairments, D for duration of treatment more than 60 minutes, and D for diabetes positive. Each criteria given point, 1 point for A, 1 point for 2, B for 1 point, C for 2 points, D for 2 points, and D for 1 point. Total 7 points are given. More the points, severity is more. Okay, 0 to 3 is low risk, 4 to 5 is moderate risk, and 6 to 7 is high risk. So whenever you notice that person is happening with TIA, this score is more helpful to identify how the severe TIA is happen. Now, second type is ischemic stroke. Ischemic stroke is the most common form of stroke, accounting for around 85% of the stroke. This type of stroke is caused by blockage or narrowing of the arteries that provide blood to the brain, resulting in ischemia and severely reduced blood flow. These blockages are often caused by blood clot. Clots can be caused by fatty deposit within the arteries called plaques. In ischemic stroke, mainly two types, thrombotic and embolic. Thrombotic is due to lacunar stroke, large vessel thrombus, and hypercoagulable disorder. And embolic mainly due to heart disease. Okay. Now, earlier we saw that is time is lost and the brain is lost. For what the thrombotic type, in that the window period is crucial for this type of stroke, because we have we have management, we have treatment medication for thrombotic type of stroke. If the person is occur ischemic stroke and immediately shifted to the hospital within 3 to 4 hours, immediately CT scan was done. First investigation was CT scan. In CT scan, we identify which type of stroke is occur. If hemorrhagic stroke is there, there is no management, directly go to the other management procedure. If ischemic stroke is there, then identify thrombotic or embolic. If thrombotic stroke is there, then we have management for that. We have management antithrombolytic medications for that. So that's why window period is most important, because ischemic stroke, 85 to 95% people affected from ischemic stroke. So we know that 95% this person has happened with ischemic stroke. So we can prevent him, we can cure him. So that's why time is important in stroke. Okay. Hemorrhagic stroke are caused by arteries in brain, either leaking blood or bursting open. The rupture can be caused by conditions such as hypertension, trauma, blood thinning, medication, or aneurysms. Intracerebral hemorrhage is most common type of hemorrhagic stroke, occur when the brain tissue is flooded with the blood after an artery in the brain burst. Subarachnoid hemorrhage is the second type of hemorrhage stroke and is less common. Patient with intracranial hemorrhage often worsen during first 24 to 48 hours of their symptoms. Signs and symptoms of intracranial hemorrhage. ICP rise is the main point where intracranial hemorrhages occur. So ICP rise signs are mainly patient said that I am suffering from headache, nausea, vomiting, loss of consciousness. These all are symptoms. When the ICP is increased, the pressure is increased in the brain, cerebrospinal fluid pressure is increased. That pressure, excuse me, that fluid stimulate the chemotactic trigger zone of the brain. That chemotactic trigger zone stimulate these kind of features, headache, nausea, vomiting. These all symptoms are stimulated by chemotactic trigger zone. That's why ICP increase, chemotactic trigger zone stimuli, and headache, nausea, vomiting is occur. That is the sign of hemorrhagic stroke. Okay, that person is suffer from hemorrhagic stroke. So main basic two things, ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke always give positive history that I am suffering from headache, nausea, vomiting, loss of consciousness due to ICP increase. And ischemic stroke, it is slowly progressive, maybe in the morning time or night time. Okay, no any headache, vomiting, nausea history in that people. Okay, and gradually weakness is there in ischemic stroke. So we differentiate like this way. Okay, in hemorrhagic stroke, mainly neurological manifestation vary with location, size, direction of the spread, and rate of development if ICH, intracranial hemorrhage. Okay. Now ICH prognosis, because Ischemic stroke is, we know that prognosis is good in ischemic stroke, but hemorrhagic stroke prognosis is quite poor. So we can identify how the prognosis in ICH. So ICH score is age, volume of hematoma, level of sensorium, presence of intraventricular hemorrhage. We know we understand for GCH for this also. Okay. Now warning sign for stroke is weakness, speaking, vision problem, headache and dizziness. Okay. This you all know functional areas of brain. Mainly three branches are there from circle of Willis, which supply main part of the brain: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, occipital lobe, pituitary gland, brainstem, cerebellum. These all are major part of the brain. But in stroke, majority of the time, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, and temporal lobe is affected. Okay. Cerebellum and occipital lobe is affected rarely. Okay. MCA, middle cerebral artery, anterior cerebral artery, posterior cerebral artery. These three main branches, okay, which supply the brain. From these main branches, MCA is the most common branch which involve in stroke, because the diameter of the MCA and the first contact with the brain is middle cerebral artery. Okay, so MCA territory involvement is most common in stroke. You all know the frontal lobe function, parietal lobe function, temporal lobe functions. Mainly frontal lobe function is locomotion and mood, intelligence and judgment, decision making, behavior, personality, planning and inhibition, memory. Temporal lobe work with speech and memory, vision. Parietal lobe work with language, coordination, intelligence and reasoning. Cerebellum always work with balance and coordination, fine movement, fine muscle control. Cerebellum is work mainly finer movements, balance and coordination. Brainstem is always work with blood pressure, heart related movement and swallowing. Pituitary gland always control the hormones. Okay. Now anterior cerebral artery, middle cerebral artery infarction, mainly contralateral hemiplegia. Mainly upper limb is more involved than the lower limb. Face and upper limb is common, and lower limb is also involved but less compared to face and upper limb. Contralateral hemisensory loss, contralateral gaze palsy, contralateral hemianopia, global dysphagia, anosognosia, and altered sensorium. Anterior cerebral artery infarction, yeah. Behavior, contralateral paralysis of leg is more involved than hand and face. Face is rarely involved in ACA infarction. Okay, urinary incontinence, gait apraxia. Okay, PCA mainly two branches, peripheral branch and central branch. Peripheral branch control the homonymous hemianopia, memory deficit, visual deficit, and central is controlling the thalamus, cerebral peduncle, and brainstem. Okay, and mainly ataxia, dyslexia, homonymous hemianopia, memory disorder, sensorial disorder. These all are complained in mainly posterior cerebral artery stroke. Now the third is lacunar infarct is most common. Most of the patient you have checked whenever the MRI reporting is you read, the lacunar infarct is most common. Mainly common site lacunar is putamen is 37% involvement, thalamus is 14%, caudate nuclei is 10%, pons 16%, and internal capsule 10% involvement in lacunar infarct. Lacunar infarct, 5 subtypes are there. Pure motor involvement is there, pure sensory motor, dysphagia, and ataxia. Okay. In that, Symptoms, pure motor is mainly controlled by internal capsules and corona radiata or pons. Sensory is controlled by VPL nucleus of thalamus, and symptoms are contralateral hemisensory loss, or semi sensory motor is localized by thalamus, or contralateral weakness and sensory loss is there. Dysarthrium is slurring of speech, mainly controlled by pons, and ataxia is posterior limb internal capsules and pons, contralateral limb ataxia, and mild contralateral weakness is there, mainly supplied by basilarity MCA penetrating is there, and okay, okay. Uh, Vertebro-basilarity artery syndrome. Okay, lock-in syndrome is most common in this. Okay. Now, the treatment objective is main. Our goal is minimize the volume of brain reversibly damage, prevent complications, rehabilitation part, and reduce risk of recurrence. Medical management: maintain circulation and oxygen, maintain adequate blood pressure, maintain sufficient cardiac output, restore fluid and electrolyte balance, maintain blood glucose level within the normal range. Control the seizure and infections, control ICP and herniation using anti-edema agent. Primary and secondary prevention: A, B, C, D, E. A for antiplatelet anticoagulant given, B for blood pressure lowering medications, C for cholesterol lowering and cessation of smoking, D for diet control, and E for exercise. These are primary and secondary prevention of stroke. In ischemic stroke, thrombolytic is given TPA, antiplatelet, as we discussed earlier. Maximum efficacy used before 4 hours. Hemorrhage to be ruled out with CT scan. Okay. Control hypertension and surgical decompression. Antiplatelet and anticoagulant are contraindicated, as I discussed earlier, that it will blast more damage of blood. In physiotherapy as early as possible. As early as possible means not there are so many guidelines that within 20 hours there is no physiotherapy is some guideline is that immediate physiotherapy is required is good give good result, but some guidelines have said that within 20 hours physiotherapy is not that much effective. After 20 hours physiotherapy is effective. So that is there are so many is there. Occupational therapy, speech therapy, improve quality of life with motor aids. In that we advise knee gaiter, AFO, walking stick, antispastic splint for hand, shoulder subluxation splint. Okay. Now the aim to improve the mentation and cognitive function, to re-establish postural control, writing equilibrium reaction and protective reaction, to normalize the tactile, proprioceptive and kinesthetic inputs, to facilitate normal movement pattern within a functional skill, to prevent contracture, deformity and pain, to inhibit undesired movement pattern. What is first patient goal? What patient first said that I want to walk? Not patient relative also said same thing, that જલ્દીથી જલ્દી અમને ચાલતા કર દો એટલે એમના ઘરના કામ જાતે કરતા થઈ જાય. That is first priority of patients and patient relative, because everybody is busy with their personal work and it's not good actually. Now there are so many theory slides with management, but I show you some clinical management skill practically. After that we go with this slide: subacute stage, chronic stage management, then management of acute. Okay, so I close the PPT and start my camera and show you some basic important skill of management of stroke. Okay. Wait.
Yes, sir, sure. That would be really good, insightful for everyone.
Yes. First thing is that when the patient is admitted to the hospital, okay,
Sir, you
that
are not
time,
visible.
okay, just me. Uh, when the patient is admitted in hospital, at that time and next day physiotherapy rehabilitation is started. Now first line of management is mainly two things happen in stroke. Uh, Spasticity is the main part that is occur in stroke. Now you all know the spasticity, okay? Hypertonia of the muscle, that is spasticity. That is not that is velocity dependent. So that is commonly occur in UMN condition, upper motor neuron conditions. So we have to deal with spasticity. In that, in acute condition, there is a one thing is upon this flaccidity hypotonia. So our goal is to two thing is happen. If two management plan is there, two guideline is there. One is directly cure the patient without developing spasticity. Okay, first thing. Second thing, develop the spasticity and treat them. Okay. पीलो ले लें खाली थोड़ा बैठ okay. So first thing is without developing spasticity. So for that we have to identify the normal biomechanical movement we have to know, and we have to break the synergy pattern from the first day. Okay, we have to strengthen the uh, agonist muscle from the first day. It is mainly I treat so many patients with this that not to develop spasticity and directly go to the normal individual life, but it is difficult when the stroke is when the patient is more damaged, more hemiplegic conditions, patterns and gradings are present. That time it's difficult. When the VCG grading, spasticity grading is lower and VCG grading is good, and the patient is response quite good, higher mental function is good, patient is cooperative, that time you go with this strategy that start with the normal pattern and develop that normal pattern. No stimulation of any synergy pattern. Whenever you stimulate the synergy pattern, that time immediately spasticity is occur and you will get the synergy pattern. Once the synergy pattern is appear, then you have to compulsory break that synergy pattern, and it's quite difficult and lengthy process. Okay, so always start with directly normalize the tone without developing spasticity. Okay. So that is one management line. Second management line is you have to develop the spasticity and treat them. Now in Indian culture, Indian population, what will happen? As we said that patient is first goal is I have to walk. Relative is said that हमने जल्दी थी independent करो. Okay. So that time what will happen? And second thing is our Indian scenario is not that much good. We give how maximum time 1 to 2 hours to a one patient. It's quite difficult to manage stroke patient in 1 to 2 hours. Okay, because in whenever you learn something, whenever you teach something, and whenever you regain that thing in your life, okay, you need more practice. માઇકલ જેક્સનના મૂન સ્ટેપ શીખવા માટે એમને તો કોઈ એક વારમાં નહીં જ શીખી જાય, બરાબર ને? બધાને શીખવા માટે પ્રેક્ટિસ કરવી પડશે. 6 to 8 વીક તમે પ્રેક્ટિસ કરશો ત્યારે જઈને મૂન વોકનું સ્ટેપ થશે, તે બી મે બી પ્રોપર નહીં થાય. ઓકે, તો એ મૂન સ્ટેપ માટે તમે રિપીટેડલી પ્રેક્ટિસ કરશો. અત્યારે આઈપીએલ ચાલે છે, તો જેટલા બી પ્લેયર્સ છે એ પર્ટિક્યુલર શોટની પ્રેક્ટિસ કરતા હોય નેટ્સમાં, ને નેટ પ્રેક્ટિસ પછી જ ધે કેન પ્લે ઇન લાઈવ મેચ. ઓકે, ડાયરેક્ટલી તો કોઈ કરવાનું નથી, તો ઇટ્સ વેરી ડિફિકલ્ટ. તો આમાં બી સેમ વસ્તુ આ છે કે બ્રેઇનની અંદર જે પાર્ટ ડેમેજ થયા છે બિકોઝ ઓફ હેમરેજ ઓર બિકોઝ ઓફ બ્લડ સ્ટ્રોક્સ, ઇસ્કેમિક સ્ટ્રોક, તો એનો જે ફંક્શન્સ છે એ ફંક્શન બીજા પાર્ટ હેન્ડ ઓવર કરશે, બીજા પાર્ટ રીલર્ન કરશે, અને એ એરિયાના પાર્ટ બી રીલર્ન કરશે નવેસરથી. તો એ રીલર્નિંગની જે પ્રોસેસ છે દેટ ઇઝ કોલ્ડ પ્લાસ્ટિસિટી, દેટ ઇઝ થ્રુ આઉટ ધ લાઈફ ઇટ હેપન. ધ પ્લાસ્ટિસિટીની અંદર કે રીલર્નિંગની જે પ્રોસેસ છે એમાં ઇટ વિલ ટાઈમ. એ રાતોરાત રીલર્નિંગ નથી કરી લેવાનું બ્રેન, એને બી ટાઈમ જવાનો છે. કારણ કે આપણે બી બર્થ થાય ત્યારથી મોટા થઈએ 20-25 વર્ષના, ત્યાં સુધી આપણું જે ડેવલપમેન્ટ થતું હોય એના માટે તમારા ઓલરેડી 15 થી 20 વર્ષ લાગ્યા છે એ ડેવલપમેન્ટ માટે, નોર્મલ ડેવલપમેન્ટ માટે. તો આફ્ટર સ્ટ્રોક એ જ ડેવલપમેન્ટ તમારે ઝીરોથી સ્ટાર્ટ કરવાનું છે. તો એ ઝીરોથી સ્ટાર્ટ કરશો ત્યારે તમારે એ ગેઇન કરવા માટે તમારે એટલો જ ટાઈમ અગેન આપવો પડશે. તો એ ટાઈમ તમે 1 to 2 અવર્સમાં એને નહીં કરી શકો. દેટ્સ વાય યુ નીડ મોર ટાઈમ to the patient. Now what happen, you teach something to the patient that you have to walk like this, you have to do upper end activity like this. But what happen when patient go to home, he always doing his convenient method, and that's why we give abnormal movement in stroke patient. Okay, that is the main problem in occur in India. Okay. Now I show you some basic bed condition, basic positioning, basic treatment and demonstration. When the patient is admitted in hospital or at bed.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there is a request from many participants to use either English or Hindi
Yeah, sure,
as
sure,
mode of
sure, sure,
language.
sure. Okay,
Because
sure.
there are many participants from various states here.
Okay, okay, sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. ચાલુ. Okay, everyone is visible. I am clearly.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, yeah, okay. Now full management plan. My right side is always affected, right is hemiplegic paralytic side, right? So always consider full management, right side is affected and left side is normal. Okay, so after 20 hour next day of admission, patient get two things. If patient is hypotonia, we have to get the tone, and patient is minimum of stroke, minimum spasticity is there, then we have to break that spasticity. Okay, for that, okay, right side is affected. So first thing what happened here, this is rotated. So for lower limb what happened, you have to one pillow just under the knee. Okay, because when the spasticity is occur, lower limb is extension spasticity is there, upper limb flexion spasticity is there. So if mild spasticity is there, you have to put one pillow under the knee like this or like this. So it will break the synergy. Second thing, if there is hypotonia, then you have to place one pillow to prevent internal rotation. Okay. So just put one pillow over the here. Second pillow, what happened? Shoulder in abduction to prevent adduction. Okay, and one pillow below the. This is most common position for bedridden patient. Now I prefer always one thing, that always teach turning towards the affected side. What happened? Turning towards the affected side get two advantages there. One, joint approximation towards the affected side, that will help to increase the tone. Second thing, patient get use of non-affected side and easily get into one position to another position. Okay, so in this is affected. So what happened? Always teach patient to always lying down. If patient is lying down in sideline, then okay, this way and this way. This is the position in sideline. Now what happened? During sideline to sitting, okay, this will joint approximation is there, that will help to improve the muscle tone. Okay, now from supine to sitting, this is affected, so he is not using this hand, so this is normal. He is using this hand and push the floor and get up from the floor. This is transitional sitting, so patient get easily able to sitting from supine to sitting. It is more convenient and patient is able to do supine to sitting. Okay, sideline, use of normal hand. He has good strength in normal hand, so he can push the floor with normal hand and get up. No use of this hand. Okay, this is most common supine to sitting. The patient can able to sit without any assistance from the first day. Okay, if the patient higher mental function is good. Okay, second thing, okay, you can do so many things in that position also. You can weight bearing position also in that quadrupole position is there, kneeling position. Functional re-education is mainly for this, but we don't go in detail with that. Now most second basic thing is what happen when the patient is able to sit. Now main problem is what happen, most of the stroke patient, 65 to 75% people from the stroke is having shoulder pain or shoulder subluxation. Okay, shoulder subluxation or shoulder pain is why occur? Because of our fault, because of relative fault, because of nurse fault, because of caretaker fault. Okay, what is the main biggest problem in that? Patient, when the patient is bedridden, that time what they do for the transfer, they just lift from the axilla and push. Okay, this way they push. Okay, so what happened? That time shoulder muscle are hypotonic, zero, over movement occur in the shoulder joint, and that will pinch the joint, glenohumeral joint. They will pinch. That's why shoulder pain is occur. Second thing, there is no muscle tone. That's why subluxation is occur. Second thing, what they do? They do like that and pull. Again, same thing is happen. Shoulder is not in control, and again shoulder pain and shoulder subluxation is there. So my best position is always stroke patient handle with this grip. So what happen? Your both the forearm is in your hand, so you have to lift. Always full arm is supported, so there is much less of weight, less of force on the stroke, on the shoulder. Okay, so always this grip is useful during the transfer or shifting. Always this grip is used. Never use this grip or never use this grip. If you see anyone to do this, just stop them, and because of future patient get less slow recovery in shoulder because of subluxation. That is the biggest problem in our country now. What happened? Second thing, when we transfer the patient from floor to bed to wheelchair, that time also what they do, they just go and they just transfer. That time also shoulder is gone. Okay, brothers, caretakers, class 4 people, they don't know anything technique, so they just lift, and that what happened, that time also the shoulder is gone. That time also my advice to just wheelchair 15-degree away from the bed. So what happened, therapist is able to stand easily, so there is no much force on the therapist. Otherwise, within 4 to 5 months of treating stroke patient, we will get back pain. Okay, so just go behind, okay, and transfer if muscle power is good. Okay, second, if muscle power is not good, then एक मिनट विधि एक मिनट आओ, एक मिनट खाली. ओके, सॉरी इंटरप्शन, एक मिनट पकड़ना. Okay, second, if the muscle control is not good, one support from the knee, okay, one is from the and safety. Okay, this is most easy. Patient is comfortable, therapist is comfortable, and there is no any alteration of any joint. Okay, now same thing, what happened when you have to transfer the patient to bed to wheelchair, chair, or chair to wheelchair. Always do remember one thing, okay, always normal side is near to the bed or near to the wheelchair. Okay, here my right side is affected, so right is near to the bed. Okay, it is not visible. So when we have to transfer, just normal side is towards the plinth or bed. So what happened, patient also help use his normal side and they can do. Okay, now lift from the buttocks, his normal hand, ask him to, okay, ask him to use this hand for pressure and support, and he is not using his affected leg, he is completely on non-affected side, he is taking weight on completely on non-affected side. Okay, okay, so always remember one thing, normal side is towards the plinth, or whenever transfer from bed to wheelchair, normal wheelchair is always towards normal side, then our role is very minimum, pressure is good. Again show you same, good. Okay, this is transfer from sitting for stroke patient. This is it. One thing now, standing. In that, what happened? Okay, just lock his knee, ankle, from my ankle to don't slip forward. Okay, so I lock his ankle. My knee to knee contact is there. This is affected side, right side. Okay, now this affected. If your knee to knee is not comfortable, just put one hand over the knee and push. One hand over the buttocks. This hand is good, normal side. Just ask him to and get up. If your knee control is not here, you are not placing hand on knee to knee over here. What happened? this leg is collapse and patient is fall. So continuously you have to hold this knee with knee to knee grip or hand to knee grip. Again same way sitting. Okay. Again I show you one thing. Grip. Okay. Sit. Okay. Now you know all the approaches like Bobath approach, NDT approach, Wojta approach, okay, Roots approach, Karen Safford approach, PNF approach. All the approaches are useful for the stroke, but one thing is main thing is that always start from the middle. You do repetitions for shoulder flexion, extension, abduction, PNF, Roots, all the things, but you didn't get the range what you want. Shoulder flexion, but what happened, you do the shoulder flexion, your scapular movement is there, okay, spasticity is occur in the hand, but you never treat the scapula, that's why you didn't you not get the proper result of hand. So always start with the middle. My first concept is always start with the middle, okay, middle is good, then automatically periphery we get good result. So first thing is you have to mobilize the scapula for upper limb, okay, and for lower limb mobilize the pelvis during the pelvic rotation. For scapula mobilization, patient is in supine line position or side line position, okay. I show you some techniques. Okay, this is your scapula. What you have to just inferior angle of scapula, barabar, you have to place the finger medial border of scapula, your palm grip lateral border of scapula. You have to just slowly glide scapula medial to lateral, not do like this, okay, slowly glide the scapula medial to lateral. That will help your shoulder range, improve your shoulder range. Second thing, this is inferior angle of scapula, okay, in palm inferior angle of scapula, spine of scapula, my fingers are at spine of scapula, just I push the inferior angle of scapula and other hand push the spine of scapula downward, push the inferior angle of scapula upwards, and with finger downward movement of spine of scapula, this way upward, downward, and medial, lateral. This is the mobilization of scapula. It will really help to improve the shoulder range of motion, because spasticity is occur all over the muscle. We are treating only shoulder, elbow, wrist, but never touch the scapula. That's why we not getting proper result in the shoulder. So always mobilize the scapula first, then 5 to 6 repetition of mobilization is enough, okay. So you can start with the middle in upper limb, same way start with the middle in lower limb. You just rotate the your pelvis to movement easily and gentle slowly rocking movements, okay. Then you do the any more approaches for the lower limb. So always start with the middle for upper limb scapula and lower limb for pelvis, then you will get good result. For home advice for upper limb, you can give him, if you have a ball, then you can advise him that ball, this is the PNF pattern, sideward, okay. Right is affected, so my normal hand is on the affected side, forward, backward, same way, sideward, okay. If you don't have ball, then use the table. Okay, close the hand. Okay, just forward, backward. Okay, then sideward on the table polishing method. Okay, so this is the best for independent exercise for patient home based exercise. Second, you advise patient to bring some glass. चलो स्टूल आपने two different heights. Okay, patient can use glass, okay, spoon, jars, whatever they have, small object to large object. Okay, what happened? Hold the grass and put down. Okay, again up, down. Okay, same thing is okay, down to up. In that full shoulder movement is helpful. Second thing, if you have jar, then you have to open the jar for finer movements. If you have lock, then lock and key you can use. So you have get good supination pronation for that. Okay. For upper limb, you have to do this kind of exercise at home. It will very useful. Just remember one thing: one height is up and one height is down. So you will get full movement of full all the joint, and you will get good result. Okay. Now for get training. Okay. In that, main two things. If the patient is in acute condition, patient is hypotonia, okay, and we have to walk with hypotonia. Just a minute. Okay. We get it. आवाज आ रही है वन चल ले जाओ
So there's a question down over there,
हाँ
and they have asked that is if there is no grip power, then what to do?
okay when there is no grip power, that time you use the table polishing method, because initially what happened, your grip is like this. That is the normal synergy pattern. Okay, so you use the hand to open up the finger. That is your first concern. So what you have to, you have a napkin or rumal, you have to tie over the thumb. Okay, and just stretch this thumb, so you will easily open up the finger. रुमाल से okay. For releasing of flexion, okay, flexion synergy in upper limb, you have to just stretch the thumb, okay, as much as you can, so that will open all the finger, and that will prevent the contracture or more spasticity in hand. So you will get this. It is more, first thing we have to achieve this, because the main problem in hand is that opening of the hand is not coming. Flexion of closing of the hand is first to come. So we have to break this synergy first. So what you advise patient to just tie. You advise splint also, there is no issue, but if you don't have splint, you can use with home base. Then you can tie the rumal like this, okay, handkerchief, stretch the as much as you can thumb, so you will easily get the open up the finger. First thing. Second thing, you can place the hand on the table. Okay, you can place the hand on the table. What you have to do, just ask the patient to flex from here only, an extension with the metacarpals. Okay, so what happened, this synergy break. Okay, just ask patient to do this only. That will break the synergy of flexion. We got extension. Third thing, you have to inhibit the flexor. Okay, you have to inhibit the flexors and facilitate the extensor. Facilitatory technique to the extensor that will facilitate the extensor muscle and inhibit the flexor that will reduce the flexor tone. Inhibitory method means you have to ice pressure, constant vibration, constant stretching. Okay, slowly brushing you can go, and for facilitating quick, all the method of quick brushing, icing. Okay, you do all the thing. Stimulation also you can give for the extensor. Okay, so facilitate the extensors and inhibit the flexor that will improve the wrist finger movement. Okay, now for basic acute stage patient, we have to start mobile as much as early as can, so we have to use the negator. Okay, this is heart negator. Okay. AFO is also there. Recently I don't have AFO. Okay. Now wait. Okay, so what happened, just place your ankle to the ankle. What happened, you just, when your patient's ankle is touched, patient automatically half in standing position. Okay, automatically, because his lower limb is locked. So when you do this movement, patient automatically come in half standing. Hold this position, just ask and get up. This is normal. Okay, this is standing. Okay, in acute hypotonia patient, you use the negator and AFO. Now in this condition, you have to achieve the tone. Okay, for the tone improvement, you do one leg standing in this condition. First thing. Second, your extension spasticity is there in lower limb. So what you have to do, your extension synergy is your adduction. Okay, so always start sideward walking in adduction manner. So that will stimulate your adductors and that will stimulate your adductor spasticity. Okay, so this is normal. So ask patient to lift and put side. This is affected. Help to adductor. Initially, when the hypotonia there, acute stage, start with adduction pattern. Okay, and when you get hypertonia, tone is there, spasticity is there, you have to break the spasticity, break the synergy, then start with abduction. This out and this. You have to now main thing is your hand grip. What happened when patient is walking? What patient might, this is affected. This plate, what happened? Ye rotate. So what you have to do? You have to stabilize. You have to stabilize both the hand at pelvis. You have to push this pelvis affected side and pull the normal side pelvis. So normal alignment lower limb is you get. Okay. So what? This is, I push this and I pull opposite side. If I don't this push, what happen? This pelvis is goes like this. Okay. So for easy management, easy grip, you have to just push, though you will get the normal anatomical alignment with this correction, minimal correction. Okay, just push the pelvis and pull the pelvis from normal side, push the pelvis from affected side. Okay, in hypotonia and hypertonia. Now in forward walking, same thing is happen. What you have to do is your hand, both the hand is on pelvis. Now what happened? You have to just push your pelvis both the side. When you push your pelvis to the normal side, your affected side is non-weight bearing position. You will get easily movement from non-weight bearing side. Now push the pelvis from non and affected side. This is normal. Okay. Now again push the pelvis from affected side. We get this. Okay. This is very easy. If you don't do this, what happen? Patient is always weight bearing on upper side. Patient is moving this hand. This is always in weight bearing position. You have to non weight bear it and move forward. Okay. You will get easy, smooth movement without any hurdles. Okay. This is forward walking. Okay. Okay. Again, just push your pelvis. Cut. Automatically lift. Okay. Push. Automatically lift. Non-weight bearing from the affected side, non-affected side is very important in gait ambulatory rehabilitation. If you do proper pelvic shifting in sideward walking, forward walking, backward walking, anywhere, you will get easily mobilization. Okay, mobility. But you don't this pelvic weight shifting pattern, then it is very difficult to, because what happened, patient is always his weight push to us. When we don't use this, then we have to push hardly to the patient, and that time what happened, dragging is more because of weight bearing position. For easily movement, you have to just non weight bear it and do it. Okay. Now for stair climbing, Aija. In acute condition, I am using two most easy pattern for acute condition. Okay, what you have to do, this is affected side, you have to hold, this is normal, so patient is easily weight bear on normal side. This is affected, so you have to place the leg on stair. Now what is the role, you have to push this knee and hand on the pelvis and get up. Okay, this is most easy technique for step up training. Okay, this is okay, this way, this is one method. And another method is, patient is obese and forward is not affordable. What you have to do, just hold the knee, your shoulder at the pelvis, and just push the shoulder to pelvis. Patient automatically locking is there. The patient is not able to fall down. Okay, push. I push my shoulder down. Okay, this is step up. Got it? Okay. Now down is most easy. Always in stroke, our normal gait concept is go with good, come with bad, go to hell, go to heaven, come to hell. Okay, but here always go with bad, come with bad, because your of normal side always take weight bearing, that's why always come with affected side. Okay, so what you have to do, this is your affected, this is normal, so you have to lift his hand. This is normal, so he can easily knee flex his leg. Okay, you have, what you have to do, just lock the knee. When you put, then ask the patient to step. Okay, again lift, move, place and lock the knee and down. Okay, this is easy step down method. Okay. This is the basic, I show you basic bed to gait training pattern, which are most easy and convenient techniques. For hand and upper limb, you can use a towel, towel or curtains folding, towel folding, cloth folding, buttoning, opening, closing, chain opening, closing, velcro opening, closing. This all will help for fine grip movement for wrist and fingers and shoulder. Okay. And one thing is, I want to notice that electrical stimulation is helpful in UMN condition for larger muscle area, not for the smaller muscle area. Because of, so never use electrical stimulation for face muscle palsy, UMN palsy, because the facial muscles are small, spasticity is there, and you have to stimulate, facilitate that muscle, and the contracture of that muscle is going to happen. So never stimulate UMN facial palsy in stroke patients. Okay. Second thing, you nowadays you can use robotic therapy, virtual reality training. Virtual reality training is new concept, and it is much more easier, much more effective, and patient is uh, continuously supportive in that. So we can use the virtual reality training also. We can use over here also, many patients for stroke, Parkinson, neuropathy, and it will give tremendous result to us. So balance purpose and upper limb movement, use virtual reality is more easy, cheaper and convenient method. Okay. And sir, I share my PPT for 2 3 slides.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can.
Okay. Or any doubt in clinical? If you want to see anything else, then I show first, and after that.
Sir, there were few questions that I asked during the session only about the gripping that you showed exactly. So I
Yeah.
think there are no more questions right now prevailing for the practical session.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Okay. Yeah.
just to add upon, we have many international participants also from Kuwait and other international cities. So
Yeah.
they are really enjoying the practical session.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I think so you can skip on some slides and just get to some important slides of management and
Yes.
those
Yes.
kind of, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh, stretching, transfer, progression, holding posture. Okay. Motor control. Yeah. Mirror therapy you can also use. Okay. Okay. These are the various approaches. Okay, so complete only if the patient able to stand on one foot and on toes, climbing stair, squat to stand, walk on heel and toes, hop on one leg, get to automating in gait. And my take home messages are: protect your brain from stroke. Stroke is an emergency. Stroke is treatable. Stroke is preventable. Only thing we have to uh, remember one thing, that time is main thing first, and we have to each know each and every component of the joint, and we have to treat for that, so we can get easily recovery, and stroke is mainly curable. So we take care of it. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot, sir. For okay.
The e-certificate link is already up on the chat box that right now you are joined in. This is an e-certificate link that we have pasted. So kindly fill up this form. This link is only active for next 45 minutes. So soon after the session, you have to fill this link. If you either miss this link, then you won't get this link again, because this link will be closed soon. So please fill out this link as soon as possible. Yes. Okay. So someone has asked a question on discharge assessment.
Yeah. Okay. On discharge assessment, actually two things that if the person is able to walk, able to doing his daily activity ADLs independently, that time you have to discharge the patient first from the our side, and from hospital side the vitals, cholesterol level, blood pressure level, oxygen level, all are normal, stabilized, stable. That time you discharge from the hospital.
Okay. And one more announcement, the link for joining the movement expert group uh, and scientific community group, both links we are just pasting up on the chat box. You can join both the groups, both the community, and for any further webinars you can easily join up, as there would be an easy link, right? So I think host can continue with the thanking ceremony.
Okay, so thanks a lot, sir, for taking your precious time and delivering such a practical webinar. And I'm sure all the participants have enjoyed, and it was a really a very informative session. So I hope that in future you can help us for conducting more such webinars. So yeah, I would like to thank sir, and if there are some more questions in our chat box, we can continue with it. Is there?
Okay,
Hello?
2-3 minutes actually. I
I
have one
think
more session.
I think
Go
most
ahead.
of the questions are already covered, and
Answered.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
and if the students have more questions, I think we can take them up via email. So I think they can email us, and we can connect that with the sir. I think that would be more relatable.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
if you have any query, directly contact with me. I will definitely help you.
Yes, yes. You can even email sir, or you can even email scientific community or movement expert. You can
Yeah,
get it on the links that we have shared.
yeah.
Okay, so there is only one e-certificate, and I'm again testing it. Please look it on it. This is only the e-certificate link. Okay, so I have pasted the e-certificate link twice or thrice and even announced it, so there should not be any confusion. And please do not please fill it up as fast as possible. Thank you so much, sir, for delivering such an intriguing talk.
Thank you so much. Moment help an expert, science expert. For, thank you.